Judging by song namesake on titling and void of any immersion with the lyrics, we're about to entertain that together. I am very much taking a fresh glance on this piece of all of you. Just looking at the Mercy title and thinking, how could this apply to a pirate's concept, right? I could see maybe the narrative directing towards the point of view or the plot line of somebody who's fallen victim to said piracy. And this is the oftentimes in pirate stories offered declaration from those who are victimized with potential of a dreary future. We'll see if that's where the track goes. It could be a little more indirect. Maybe the pirate tone is more so embodied in the music scoring. There could be, again, varied application or maybe interaction between different agents with Visions of Atlantis, where it's concerned, because Pirates has demonstrated a multitude of different voices with that respect and stylings, but I'm sure it'll be effective as always. Visions of Atlantis is just such a brilliant talent to humor. If you've never been introduced and this is your first entrance, I would recommend going back into the origin of Pirates, beginning there, and then returning to where we sit now of track 10, because it is worth your time in evolution of concept. But if you want to get a fresh baseline, you can entertain whatever you want in terms of your entrance. Music is very much independently subjective, right? But to set an ease of access for you, this is your first entrance. I know for a number of you it's not. You're longtime fans. I welcome your company alongside, but I do hope that some of you are taking a fresh entrance alongside me, because music is better in company, right? And for Visions of Atlantis, an Austrian-based symphonic, melodic, and power metal group, I think you're going to fall deeply in love, especially on the symphonic flair. They've really pleased me. That's a particular favorite subset of metal for anybody who's not entertained my point of view before concerning why I've fallen in general in love with the metal scene so much. I love orchestral music and anything that offers a vivid atmosphere of application and practicality of vision and creativity. Visions of Atlantis, their imagination, has really impressed me ever since our origin introduction together 20 numbers ago. And again, we looked at a variance of pieces from the last 3 albums, but Pirates mandates a return journey. I've had this feeling ever since I was first introduced to it on the initial 5 pieces of the album. Well, not the initial 5 pieces in track listing, but our initial 5 experiences. But ever since that moment for me, I wanted to return to it and to do it back with you again, to return to that mindset of let's enjoy Visions of Atlantis and company for the first time. This experience was so special for me, and if this is your first introduction, I cannot wait for you to be introduced, especially to such a talented European rock and metal for you. Maybe that for you is first footing. I speak of that scene in vivid glamour. It deserves that. For me, it's a pleasant addiction that I cannot get enough of. Just the mastery of talent in that atmosphere of the world, in specific focus of the metal and rock environments. I've been generally elated at every artist I've humored, namely many on a first introduction basis with the European regard, with some minor exceptions. Visions of Atlantis, though, first interaction of all of you, and every piece I've humored in mutual company. Let's continue that onward with Pirates. Again, developing that fullness of vision that has been so beautifully manifested thus far, with 9 pieces going into the 10th, Mercy. Let's see which direction this takes on lyrics. I'm sure on music, though, it's going to be narrative delivery. Their storytelling is equally articulate and invigorating. But music-wise, this is an experience. I've craved a return. I've been looking forward to this for the past couple weeks. And to make good on it, it's wonderful for me. Music is very much a passion project in terms of coverage focus. It means so much to me, though, as again a favorite artistic language, and to bring Visions of Atlantis into my graces, as well as perhaps allow for them to enter the graces of others. It's quite an honor. That's what I say about every artist, and for Visions of Atlantis, I mean that 100%. I've loved the introduction. Let's continue it forward with more. Oh, hang on a second. Shoot. I'm queuing up In My World. I'm like, no wonder that sounds familiar. Wrong number in preparation. All right, that one was good, but let's start with a new one. Mercy. Like, this one sounds so similar. Oh. This one has a stronger attitude. I think it definitely pairs well in Temptation of where the vision might go. And again, I like that harsh root to this album. Oh, the vocals are so beautiful. The emphasis on the orchestra side, perfect here. Good syncopation, interesting, different than expectation, but it works. There's certain standout numbers again on the symphonic presence. This is one of the entries for me that's going to have that term, and that's just perfect. The slowdown on that. Oh. Provocative, and it so works as a transitional element alone. This has everything for me. The fables and visions of Atlantis communicated in deep satisfaction. I just love how it doesn't let up at all with that energy. The reduction's really good idea. And the still note again, the symphonic agents incoming. Good subtlety. Key change, okay. Dramatic, cinematic choice. It works well. Complements many other pirate scores exquisitely. "30 seconds left. I'm imagining a softer outro that is licensed by the direction of the song, though it changes from the introduction. Deeply creative, independent choice, but it's satisfactory." And that is a real luminescent touch to it. There's your pirate cue. They always know how to surprise. That is such a direct change of pace. Like, what was the other one that did this too? Darkness Inside, the piano isolation. Nice change up on anticipation. It's so different, but I love that variability. And again, to explore that with you makes the experience even better than me just enjoying this in isolation. Strong number just from the minute it introduces itself. The key choice, potent. The symphonic essence to that number, again, beautiful. And manifesting, at least for me, on Temptation of a Story, as I said, Mercy. How does that play around in concept of a pirate lore? I get a bit of like a mutiny vibe. At least on the introduction, that's kind of where it develops from there. But beautiful line work. They pray that you follow your mercifulness. The heart of the coward is showing. There's more power in pity than courage and hate. Just, again, beautiful story exploration. And again, the concept of the pirates. There's differentiation on presence in the bass pieces we've entertained. Whether it be some songs, it interacts between both music and narrative concept. Then other songs are isolated in their direction. They'll pick one side, and the other element will be, let's say, for example, more contemporary lyrical vision that fits well, I would say, in modern atmosphere and application, depending on, again, how we approach certain pieces and what we drive out of them. Or it'll be the song takes on more of based on what we've entertained so far, a wide reach of symphonic application. Some songs maybe drift more into a ballad territory. Others are maybe more, let's say, for example, if Darkness Inside, they kind of follow into a rock pattern of a mainstream approximation. Others dart more into mainstream symphonic flair. And exercise within that arena alone is just deeply impassioned. But Mercy is just an ever fine attribution. This one, again, has a fun, I feel, again, it's complemented well in both directions on narrative and score to a pirate song. So that key choice was earned. And I feel it did track well, again, paved beautifully in navigation, again, with a suspicious deterrence on the end, but wonderful. Again, I love the independent touch. It's distinct, it's signature, I'd say, with the past numbers. They just take you on this ride from translation of idea into manifestation. I just can't get enough of it. I've humored many groups on this channel that I've said are particular favorites of mine, and Visions of Atlantis is becoming quite the standout. Some of my favorite experiences, though, in terms of first introductions on this channel, for sure. Not to overshadow other groups that have exercised the same compliment, there's many. But Visions of Atlantis, what a time we are having together. And I'd have it no other way than to join in company. Mercy, another beautiful attribution to the pirate story. I love it. Easy favorite, as every piece thus far on this album has been. I'd love to hear if that's an agreed conclusion down below. Or, maybe whatever appearance you take in terms of opinion and whatever approach you have, right? Longtime Visions of Atlantis fan or first introduction for you. Whatever company you happen to be in circumstance, I welcome you. Because it makes our experiences better to enjoy, again, music in a collective manner. And with Visions of Atlantis, I know for a fact if I were enjoying this in isolation, it wouldn't mean the same. To experience it with you, it just throttles me right back again to our early introduction just a little under a month ago, where we were at Visions of Atlantis on a fresh debut. But I've loved what we've entertained. I'm sure the future 2 numbers, next will be Heal the Scars. I'm sure they'll be no different, because every entry thus far at Visions of Atlantis as pirates, I'm loving. Again, this album in particular, the past couple ones we've entertained were great, but Pirates mandated a return journey, and I'm so happy I followed through on the idea and that impulse. I see why it's warranted for numbers like Mercy. Just symphonic metal, it's a favorite of mine for a reason. And I hope it, for those of you who have not yet been properly introduced, whether it be Visions of Atlantis or European metal or symphonic metal in general, this probes an interest. And if you want my opinion, follow it. It's a favorable voyage you'll be on, and you won't regret it any second, like I'm sure you didn't with this song. Not at all with Visions of Atlantis, or really any group in that vein, but the Command here, in particular Visions, I love them. Real standout collection, and just the experience alone means so much to me. And I hope it's the same reaction with you. Thank you so much for watching this video. Before you bounce, feel free to drop a like and comment, subscribe to this channel with a ding on the bell, and share this video with your friends. And consider checking out the description here. There you'll find links to my other channels, as well as addresses to my other social media accounts and ways you can help support my work if you feel so inclined. May God bless you, and looking forward to when our paths cross again.